Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Lisa of Sunset Maple Studios, and I'm here today with day 3 of the 100-day challenge. And today I'm going to be working on hidden paper clips. Now, many of you have probably seen these before. There's definitely different versions out there, but I found this version on a YouTube page from a person called Sparkbird Studios. So I will link her information down below to take a look at if you want to take a look at her doing these. I thought they were great because they seem to be extremely strong. And they're like really strong. So I made a few up here. I've got some designs, and then I'll show you how I cut them and glue them together, and we'll maybe get a chance to design a couple or decorate a couple. So these can go on the top. I made this one to go on the top. I put a flower and one of my snippets from, I believe it was a couple days ago. I did that on the 1 through 100 challenge. This one's got a label, some washi tape on it. This one's got a tag and some ripped paper from these. This one also goes up and down. Snippet, flower, tag. This one I have to go sideways. Got some flowers and snippets on that one, and this one was also meant to go sideways. I made this one extremely big. I actually put 2 paper clips in here to make sure that they're nice and nice strong no matter where you put something. If you wanted to put, you know, a couple things in there, you could put, you know, in 2 different spots. So in this one I've got the snippet and a bird, and on this side I've got a label, some flowers, snippet, some washi tape. So this one gave a lot of room to be able to decorate. So, all right, I'll get the finished ones out of the way for now. And I've got quite a few that I've already glued together from some papers I cut. I have, this one's not glued. I can't find my corner rounder, but I did take some scissors and use them to fake a corner round. But I think that would look nice. And then I also did this, which I just snipped just the tiniest bit of the corner off, just to give it a little bit more of a, I think, a finished look. But you definitely don't have to do anything to it, and they end up being just fine. So I got these glued together. I did most of them about the same size, but then as you saw, the one that was decorated for the bird, I got a huge one, and this one I haven't decorated yet, a nice little tiny one. So you can make them any size you want, which is great. So I'll move these glued ones out of the way. All right. So I started with a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, but what you need is to cut it down to 10 1/4. So this is just an extra piece that I have put in my scrap pile. It can be 10 1/4 by anything. So technically, if this piece, we cut that down to 10 1/4, to right there, let's just say. It's a little long, but we did that to 10 1/4. We could actually fold this to make, you know, by itself. So as long as you've got something that is 10 1/4, you can make the folded hidden paper clips. All right, so I'm going to do it on the full sheet here so you can see it in full. We'll do this one. I'll glue some together, and then we'll get, if we get a chance, we will decorate some. So we start with the 10 1/4 going that way. Oh, by the way, I am using the jumbo paper clips. If you wanted to use smaller paper clips, which I did not have, the sheet needs to be 7 1/4. And then there's a different measurement for the first fold, which the Sparkbird Studios has on her website, but I did not do that, so I do not have it written down what it is off the top of my head. So start with the 10 1/4. The first fold you're going to do, you're going to keep the pretty side inside, is you're going to fold it so that there is an 1 1/4 showing. So we're going to go there to 1 1/4, give that a fold, use my bone folder, get a nice good fold there. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to stick the paper clips with the larger side facing where this paper on the shorter side here. So I'm going to just do 5 of them because that seems to fit well for the medium size clips that I've been doing. They don't have to go in any specific spot here, but like I said, if you wanted to cut, you know, a bigger one, you could space it over, cut a bigger one. If you wanted a tiny one, you could put it over here to cut a tiny one. Once we do cut these down into slices, you can go back in and move the paper clip to center it better. So as long as they're close, that's good. And the big side facing there, the little side's back here. So once you get as many paper clips as you want on there, we're going to take this short flap and we're going to fold it to the paper clip. You kind of got to work it. Make sure that you're holding the paper clips down so they don't shift up. Do your best to fold it evenly. It's a little bit difficult because it's lumpy. And like I said, we'll do our best to use the bone folder to fold it down, but it does have the lumps in there, but we can get a good read. So flip it over. We're going to take this short part and we're going to flip it over to cover the paper clips there. This one's a little easier because the paper clips want to move. They don't want to move off the page. Oh, I busted through a little. I guess we'll be throwing some washi tape on there. Okay. So the next one that you're going to do is after you fold this, is you're going to fold the last bigger flap also to the paper clips. Every time you fold, you want to fold it to the paper clips. So we just keep going back and forth. So this fold's going to go here. Again, holding them in so that the paper clips don't shift. And you can kind of see it starting. This little hole in here is basically where the hidden paper clip holds. Excuse me. Okay. And we'll see if we can do a little squishing here with the bone folder in between the paper clips just to get a nice crisp fold. Okay. All right, so the last fold can be done one of two ways. You can either fold it right to the edge, which leaves a little bit of a taller spot here to make it a little, it'll be a little higher here, or you can fold it all the way over, which I think I will do this one. Fold it all the way over, bone fold again, and then what we'll end up doing is cutting the strip off. So, like I said, if you fold it all the way into here, you don't have to cut it off. If you fold it all the way to the paper clip, you need to cut it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. Trying not to cut into the fold over. Whoops. Okay. Scraps. Okay. Not exactly totally straight, but it'll do because the paper matches. So I'm just, okay. So now next we're going to do is cut down to get our widths of our hidden paper clips. So you can feel the paper clip inside here and feel paper clip there. So I'm just going to kind of cut in between and about how big I want the item to be. Making sure we don't cut through the, try to cut through the paper clip. Now you probably could use a slicer machine, or if you got one of those slidey ones, scissors will do fine. I did notice sometimes it gets a little wonky and crooked on me, but you can easily go back and trim those when they're done. Okay, so now we have different holders. Now, there's definitely smaller ones and there's bigger ones, but that's okay. You get a little variety of things, a little more space on some to decorate, a little less space on some. So let us glue together. Get these out of the way. All right, we'll start with this bigger one. Might be a little easier to see. So if you wanted to ink it at this point, you could while it's open. I've been mostly inking after it's closed to make sure that these white sides go away, because you can kind of see them in between since it's a little bit lumpy. I'll ink it in there after it's all said and done and glued. If you wanted to take those out and use a corner rounder and do that, you can do that at the time. Just got to remember where the paper clip goes. and it fits the one way down to there. So there we go. Okay, so the first part we're gonna glue is we're gonna glue this big side of this paper clip down. I'm gonna use the thicker wet glue on this because I wanna get a good amount of glue in between here so that the paper clip doesn't slide around. Look at that. All right, so we're gonna fold that up to the little flap. Making sure at this point that the paper clip is as good as straight as we can get it, because hopefully that glue will hold it in place and it won't shift around. Okay. Now next we're gonna glue the little flap down, and I'm gonna use the wet glue on this too, just so it's a nice strong seal on top of the paper clip. Now if you wanted to use the stick glue you could, but it's a little harder to get it to be in between where the paper clip is. So we got that done. Now when I first started I was using the wet glue for this, but I realized that it was not necessary and it was taking up a lot of my wet glue. So once you got the thing done, we're going to glue this flap and then this flap. It's going to go here and here. So instead of doing it one at a time, I have just to take a little less time, just been putting glue on this, both flaps, all the way to the edge is the most important part. And we're going to glue it in and glue it in. So there we go. Now what she also said at that Sparkbird Studio is to take something, a piece of paper wise, and stick it in there just to make sure that there's been no glue that's seeped through, and close it up because don't want to use it if can't use it if it's all glued shut. So that seems to be good to go. And there is one glued that can be decorated. So I'm going to glue another one here for you. While I got it, I'll do this lighter one. Might be a little easier to see. Okay, so we're gonna, like the first one, move our paper clip in the center to make sure it's in a good spot. I'm gonna use my wet glue on the big sides paper clip. Come on. Okay, let's try that again. I filled this bottle up before I started too, so it's not like it's empty. There we go. All right, some glue in between the paper clip and make sure the edges get good. Okay, so we're gonna fold that up toward the short flap, give it a good press, making sure the paper clip is fairly straight. It's not seen, so if it's a little off, it's okay. But if it's straight, that's going to help it fit in there a little bit better and neater. So we're going to take the wet glue and do the flap. And fold that down. And we'll take the stick glue and we'll just glue those last two together as one flip. All right, first one, second one. Okay. All right, might be hard to see, but I do have a little bit of white showing there from when it got folded over. So I'm gonna just try to snip this a little bit just to get rid of it. Okay, that's better. And I think I'm gonna notch the corners off. We're just gonna knock a little bit off each side. Okay. And we'll make sure it's not stuck together. Such a pretty one. I like this one with the sparkles. Yeah, it's a little fun. Okay. All right, so if we want to get rid of some of that whiteness that's showing on the sides, a little bit of whiteness where it got snipped, do a quick little covering. I'm using Vintage Photo. Okay. Okay, so like I said, you can decorate it so that it's facing sideways or decorate it so it's up and down. So I think I'm going to do this one sideways, and I'll do this one up and down. So since that is kind of earthy tone, maybe I'll start with a little bird on there. See if I can find a small enough one. He could work. I have to cut his tail off a little, but he could work. Ink him up a little bit. Just dress him with the photo. Let's see if I got some. Let's do some snippets. I think maybe a snippet with some words on it might be appropriate. Might be a little too long. That'll work. Maybe a little tag in the corner there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. All right, ink that up a little bit. So how is your day going? Mine's been okay. It's been raining out here and cold. Getting ready for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, and I don't think the revelers are going to be too happy about being out for St. Patrick's Day. And spring is right around the corner on Monday, and it is supposed to warm up a little bit, getting closer to the 40s and 50s, so that should be good. A little bit better than the 30s that it's been around here. I'll take it. Okay. Now we'll get the bird down. All right, I'm able to sneak him on there. Don't have to trim his tail. Okay. All right, so for that side, maybe I'll use a little torn paper. Okay, we'll put that on there, and a tag. Okay, this is going up and down. Got these little stickers. Oh, that standard typewriter look like a nice color on the green. Oh, I like that one. I think we're gonna do that. Not sure where I got those stickers from. I found them recently. It might have came with some Tim Holtz mini things I had. All right, we'll throw a little glue on there because you never know with some of these stickers what's going to peel off and what's not. So, whoops, forgot to glue this down. Need to glue that first. Okay. Stick that up there. like it. Yeah, I like it. Okay. So since I did that one that way, we're going to do this up and down. I got to remember. Oh, oh, that's too big of a bird. I like that flower though. Might have to give this bird a little trim. Save the bird for something else. And use that flower. Definitely, I like that one. Ink it up a little bit. Get rid of some of that white. Very nice. Okay, so let's see if there's a snippet, maybe a tiny tag. So tiny I can't get my finger on it. Okay, let's give this a shot. Feel that lumpy bumpy paper clip in there, but I think I can still push it down enough to make it want to stay. That is one tiny tag. Okay, put that tiny tag right there. Yeah, nice. Okay, so what can we put? We haven't put any flowers yet. Let's see if I can find some small flowers. Oh, I did put a flower, didn't I? And a bird. Okay. But I do like that flower. Let's see. What tiny scraps I can run across here. Might be too peachy. Too busy, too beachy. Too busy, too peachy. Some of that white off of that. Vintage photo. That's nice. Makes it a little more peachy looking, so that'll work. Make sure I'm going the right direction. That would be bad if I got it stuck upside down. Okay, a little bit of music notes. I did it again. Okay. That there. Put that there. Oh, I had some washi tape too. I forgot I had some of that. Let's glue the flower down, see if I need any washi tape. It's traveling across the paper clip, so gotta kind of mold it to fit. Maybe throw a little washi tape over here. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I like the little sparkle and a little grunge. I didn't even notice how the sparkle goes right across the top of the flower. Very cool. Okay. All right, well that's fun. There's definitely. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to say that that's it for this video. I definitely have a lot more that I'm going to be able to work on and glue together and get decorated. So I'm going to definitely have a bunch of ways to keep my papers together with all of these. Looking forward to it. So, okay. Well, until next video, I hope this was fun. I hope you learned something, and I hope you go out and have a creative day. Thanks for coming, and take care.